Hi, it's Chris Watkin here again with Simon Bradbury, and in previous videos we've talked about how you saw your conversion rate drop from 40% in 2017 to just over 30%, and how you spotted the issues. And in the previous video, stage 1, we talked about how you went out with your valuers and you found that there was 4 issues. And now in stage 2 in this video, we're going to go through those 4 main issues and what you found out from the valuers. And so if you don't mind, Simon, I'd like to go through those individually.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so what you're saying to me is that the 4 biggest issues that you had which made your conversion rate drop, the first one was agenda setting. So tell me a bit about that.
Okay, so what I found is that my colleagues would turn up at the appointment. They'd be very polite, they'd be punctual, all the sort of things you'd sort of expect. They generally were very good about getting the vendor to sit down at a table or on a sofa.
Is that straight away? Is that what you recommend?
Yeah, that's what we recommend. To establish...
Not whiz round really quickly.
No, not whiz round.
Put the kettle on,
Definitely
love.
not whiz round really quickly, no. To sit at the table or on a sofa and basically to check some basic facts.
Okay.
And then and all that was going really, really well.
Yeah.
Very proud of the guys for doing that. But then I found that just over half of the negotiators were then saying to the vendor, so let's go and have a look around the house now. And what I noticed happening is that because the vendors weren't being given any structure, you could see them thinking, well, how long is this going to take? What's going to happen? Very simple, very basic, very subtle. But what we found is that by setting an agenda properly, it completely settles the vendor down. They know what's going to happen, they know the order of things, they know how long the appointment's going to take, and they know what to expect. That doesn't mean you have to stick rigidly to an agenda and that's it, but it does mean, ironically, if you need to go off the agenda, you can do so with the confidence that you come back to that agenda and that structure.
So how is that? How was that set out? What would good look like at that point?
Good would look something like, okay, Mr. Vendel, thank you for giving me all that information. What I'm going to do now is I'd like to have a look around the property. I'm going to take full measurements of the property, and I'd like you to come round to me, pointing out any benefits and features of the property that appealed to you. Then what we're going to do, Mr. Vendel, is we're going to have a discussion about price, which is one of the reasons you've asked me to come out here. And then what I'd like to do is to run through with you why more and more people are choosing Thomas Morris to list their property. And that's going to take about an hour in total. Is that okay with you, Mr. Vendor?
That's very good. Yeah, I like that. Very good, very good. So the second thing that you spotted as an issue was questioning skills on the walk round.
Yeah.
So let's go through. Let's not give everything away in this video. We can talk about some of the good stuff in other videos.
Yes.
What bad things were happening at that point?
Okay. Well, genuinely, and I'm just want to be straight with you, there wasn't anything I saw any of the guys and girls do that was bad.
Okay.
What it was
it good?
Yeah, it was.
But it
good.
wasn't exceptional.
That's exactly right. So what I did find is that our people were going around. It was a bit strange, of course, because the vendor can see me standing in the doorway, but they were going around and they were taking measurements, checking the measurements, and they were generally asking people what they liked about the house. It was very professional, and that's what they were doing.
Is that professional but too professional?
I don't know if I'd agree. I don't think you can ever be too professional. What I think it was professional but not personal.
What kind of spotting a picture of a certificate on the wall and commenting on it, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's the sort of things that we weren't doing enough of.
Okay,
or if we were doing it, was a bit forced.
Okay, well, let's save the solutions to later videos.
Yeah.
Because we want the punters to watch the rest of the videos, don't we?
Of course, yeah.
Number 3, presentation of price.
Okay.
What was going wrong there?
What was going wrong there, Chris, is that, well, we've called it presentation of price. What was happening is that the listing negotiator might say something like, so I've done some background research, and they've generally done some really good background research. Here's some evidence for that. So this is what I think your house is worth.
Sounds fair to me.
Yes, but I'm saying to you, this is what I think the house is worth. We weren't getting enough interaction. We weren't having a conversation with the vendor. We didn't get enough involvement from my perspective, that's what I felt was happening.
Okay.
And I don't think that we really were exciting the vendors, and I don't think we're able to put across, even with the presentation of price, just how much work we've done and what the market was actually telling us.
And in later videos, you'll be happy to share with you
Yes,
some
very
techniques.
happy.
You really are the gift that keeps giving, mate.
I know.
The final issue was the feature benefits analysis. To those that don't know what that means, what does that mean and where were they going wrong?
Okay. I'll answer your second question first. Whether we're going wrong is that most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, I found that our people were talking about features. So, for example, they were talking about facts. I'm just trying to think of an example. I know. So, somebody might have said, Mr. Vendor, we're part of Relocation Agent Network that has over 600 branches nationwide.
It's a lovely fact, isn't it?
It is a lovely fact. But they weren't following that on with the benefit of that, which of course can be different to different people depending upon their circumstances.
And again, if you've been doing the agenda setting and questioning skills, you'd have found out what was important to them.
Of course, yeah.
Again, probably we can go into a lot more detail and give some great info to the guys
Happy
out
to do
there
that, yeah.
in a later video. Well, that's the end of stage 2. In stage 3, we're going to be talking about actually putting your valuers to the test. So if it's okay with you, let's go on to the next video.
Great.
Lovely. Cheers.
Cheers.